And we're live.
We are live. Welcome, everybody.
Hopefully, yep, everyone can hear me. Go ahead, Eggy.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, everyone can hear you. Look, for once, I think the only thing that happened there was I think I did run out of music, or I might not have gone to the next one, or I might
Yeah,
have gone.
I just noticed on your stream you got your name in the right hand corner of the participants. I don't know if you want to get rid of it or
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the chat. That's what it is.
yep.
No, 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 don't do that. Chat, no. Uh,
This is the arrow. Sorry.
No, that's a different thing. That's the armory crate thing. Oh, close. There we go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Awesome. Hey, B, mate.
I've been good. So it's been a few weeks since we've done the show. I think I've been to Sydney and back. Had Anzac Day.
Yeah.
How
That you
about
have.
how about yourself?
Not too bad, mate. I can't complain. I've been keeping busy. There's lots happening.
Getting ready for Mother's Day this weekend.
Yeah, I think the wife's finally admitted what she wants. So I've said to her, and she's like, "Oh, it's a whim." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to give you two choices. You buy it, or I go out and buy it with Gabe and guess the one you want." And she's kind of like, "I'll let you know." I'm like, "Yes, you will, or you will end up with a very ugly, expensive necklace you don't want." And she's like, oh. So anyway, my wife works pretty hard, so I tend to get pretty shitty because she doesn't. It's very selfless, like very just doesn't like spending money on herself. So
Yeah.
I get pretty frustrated because I go, "Oh, what do you want for your birthday, or what do you want for Christmas, or what do you want for Mother's Day?" It's like, oh, I don't know, I don't want anything. And whereas me, I'm like, honey, I want a new graphics card. She's like, how much? But yeah, so she's still. I think I'm just waiting for the blowback from the extra $200 spent. But
She hasn't seen it yet, or
no, I don't think she has yet. So I'm just like, look, I thought I could cover it, but some other ways. But I'm like, nah, screw it. I just can't be bothered. Like,
yeah.
I was just like, forget it. She knows what the situation is. And the thing was, I was looking at, because when they said, yeah, well, the only thing I don't think, yes, Senecom has the same card for 2-1. So it's still like, and these things were like at one stage, 6900 XTs were like going, what, 28, 29. Like, they were, if you could get a hold of one too, they were just crazy prices. So now, if crypto wants to go back to where it was, as you were, I'm happy to sell a 3080, even with a low hash rate for, more than what I bought it for. Off you go. But no, the 3080, it's interesting with the pricing. I probably wouldn't sell that now because I wouldn't get them. Like, I'd make a lot. Like, how I made money on the old one?
Yeah.
$600. I probably lose 600 on this one if I went to sell it. And I'm like,
It's breaking even, so
no, I'm not. That's not the point of the game. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm still going to use it. I'll still game on it. The one thing I will have to do is I will have to plug in a HDMI cable into the one with the 6900 XT, which we're streaming on tonight. I'm actually quite interested to see what the health of the stream is tonight. Blah, 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 blah. Let me go and have a look-sees. Live streaming. Let's see how we go. No, stream and studio and are we streaming now? Where is it? Oh, yeah, whatever. Yep, create. Go live. Thank you. Let me just see what it's doing. Yep, we're live now. The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended of 95 kilobits per second. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that it's okay. I'm hoping that it's running okay. Because the fact is that I really, I'm dropping frame rates. I just got to figure, I'm sure at some point I've got to figure out what I'm doing. Let's go and have a look at stream health. Oh, good. Stream status is good at the moment. Okay, that's okay. I'm happy with that. But as I was saying, yeah, like there's quite a bit of, quite a bit happening out there at the moment. But besides that, mate, how was Sydney? You enjoyed it?
It was good.
Go sightseeing?
A lot of driving, full catching up with family and stuff. Seeing my wife, uncle and aunties, and then a nan that we haven't seen for a couple of years since COVID. It's probably been 3 years now, actually. It'll be 3 years in October.
Yeah. Cool, man.
And then we saw her dad as well. He lives in Sydney, so I went there. Did the touristy thing and went to Luna Park and the Opera House and went on the boat under the bridge over to Luna Park. Then we caught the boat over to Darling Harbour and caught the train home. It's a pretty good trip. Nice and quick, but yeah.
Girls would have loved it.
They did love it, yeah.
Because this would be probably the first time they've gone, and they're probably kind of old enough to actually appreciate it and remember it.
And remember it. Yeah, last time they were babies and we were traveling for the middle of the night and that. Well, we actually, when we were up there, we realised that Addie has never been up to a nan's, and nan's always come down. So.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So that's how long it's been since we went up there. So like, wow.
That is awesome. Hold on, mate. I'm just going to turn off these launches. Cool. All right. Yeah, but that's great, mate. That's actually fantastic to hear. I mean, it's always nice to get away, and I've said to Amelia I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I think next couple of months we'll definitely pull the trigger on going somewhere.
Well, that's what in a couple of weeks there's the Queen's birthday long weekend, so we didn't use those flights to go to Sydney without driving, so we're using those flights in to go to Queensland. We're just going to go and stay at SeaWorld for 4 nights.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's great, man. That's what you want. You want to be, let the girls enjoy it, and they're probably old enough now to start really enjoying that stuff.
Yeah.
And not get in trouble with their mum because their dad goes, of course you can play Fortnite, even though it's bedtime.
Well, it ended up being like we're getting the room for nothing, because I think it was like $300 a night, and you get tickets to all 3 theme parks. Which is end up being $99 each to each theme park. So I think we're going to get there on a Saturday, and we'll we don't get there till 2:00 in the afternoon, so I don't know if we'll go that day. But then on the Sunday, I think we might head to Movie World for the day, and then on the Monday might do like a half day at SeaWorld and another half day at SeaWorld, plus catch up with family and that, because I've got 2 brothers up there.
Yeah. Your parents back?
They're over in the west of Melbourne.
Oh, okay. So they're in Melbourne. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't realise your mum and dad were down here.
Yeah. They moved down probably about 3 years after I moved down.
Oh, yeah. So where are they in Melbourne?
Werribee.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. It's all right. Bit of a bitch for you to.
To go to.
Yeah.
Well, they were at Langwarrin.
I can relate, mate.
they were in Langwarrin at first until when COVID hit, like the weekend before the Grand Prix, and that when COVID first hit, that's when they moved to Werribee.
Oh, okay.
I remember that.
What made them move to Werribee out of all places?
Work.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, my mum had a pretty good job, and she became the state accounts manager or something, and she'd travel to Geelong, Ferntree Gully, Werribee, and Williamstown. So she just sort of wanted to be a bit central. And then Dad ended up getting a new job in Coburg, but now he's left down going to Epping anyway. So
so it's worked out all right for him.
Yeah,
I mean, Werribee to Epping still shit drive. It's a long drive. I guess he's going against traffic, so part of the way.
Well, it just goes in the Western Ring Road, and it doesn't take him long, like 20, 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, because sorry, he would be going against traffic. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the fact is that all the traffic would be coming the other way. So yeah, he'd be all right if he goes up Western Ring Road. He's getting to the ring road would be his toughest bit.
Yeah.
But if he takes the back roads, I'm sure he'll probably get there okay.
Yeah.
If he's not taking the Princess.
I think he was starting at 6, but then he figured out if he left at 5, he'd get there by 5:30, and it would take him like 15 minutes less to get to work or something. End up leaving a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Well, when you finish a bit earlier and miss the traffic coming home as well.
Cool. Awesome. What's that? What's Dad do?
He's a factory manager for a cabinet making. Well, I think these ones are shop fitters, so.
Cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Awesome. It's all right. Now we know why you're a tradie.
Yeah. Well, it didn't start being a tradie. Yeah. Started off as a forklift driver. Well, started off making pills. Mum used to work in Brisbane. Mum used to work at a pharmaceutical place.
Yeah.
And on weekends and school holidays.
I was going to say, do you really want to share this story on stream? But then you're like, let me clarify. Let me clean this up.
You know, like when you buy, I think these are all like, they weren't actual like medicine pills and that. They were like supplements and stuff like that.
Yeah, vitamin supplements.
But on school holidays when I was like 13, you used to like like when you open up the pills and they got the little pamphlets in there or the whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
So I had to do them. I had to fold them up, put them in the tube, and then put the tubes on the conveyor, like the spinner, before the pill machine would fill them up.
Oh then, wow!
Yeah, so I did that for about 5 years, like in between school and that, and ended up working there full time, making pills and that, and going to TAFE at night, and then it got too much. I just kept working because I had a love for cars, so I kept buying car parts and cars and.
As you do at that age.
Yeah.
It's like, what new faster car can I get now?
Yeah.
That I won't kill myself in yet. Yeah. Because you've said you've had some quite nice cars, like.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, the Skyline was a lot of fun. That was scary though when I first got airborne in a car, and I was like, oh, I might not do that again.
I remember a mate of mine telling me who worked at Holden, and he had I think it was a VL Berliner, but he bought the Wilkinshaw, legitimate Wilkinshaw kit, and sprayed it red, so the whole car was red. And he had this Valiant, this old V8 Valiant, and he said, the thing had a V8, but he goes, it was like a boat, really heavy, and you had to, if you were going to like go sideways, good luck.
You have to give it a good flick.
Oh yeah, it wasn't easy. And once you did, good luck in trying to, keep it. But he goes, it was good because, it was pretty hard to kill yourself in one of those. So he goes, I get the VL, like do it up, do the motor and everything, sort of haven't driven it a lot. Anyway, go to overtake a guy, slap it in third, thinking I'm in the Valiant. And he goes and literally overtaking the guy like this, sideways waving at him, just going, like, fuck. Yeah, and he goes, and then just somehow overtook him and not killed myself. He goes, but how I didn't kill myself in that car, he said, I never understood. But like he said, like just some of the crazy stuff he got up to in that was just insane. And in the end, he said, oh, look, it was just like he ended up selling it because it was just like, no, like I'm going to kill myself in this thing at some point.
Yeah. I was on the P's and I had a VL with like a Walkinshaw kit. And every time I take it out, I get pulled over. I get like a defect on it. Like one was for the steering wheel, like a wood grain steering wheel, and then the other one was for the air filter being loose. And every time you got done for that, it would be 2 points. So and when you're on your P's, you only get 4 points. So it's like every few months I was losing my license.
See, you're younger than me. When I started, everyone got 12 points. The problem was that the thing was when I started driving it's a lot hard. Like you didn't get caught as much. Like unless you went to like meetups on like Bouvier Street, in Carlton, and did drag races there, or you went and did chap laps, on Chapel Street with a car that you knew was illegal. 99% of the time, the cops wouldn't go near you. But yeah, I think that's long gone now. Where if you got a P plate and the car looks even semi souped up, they'll pull you over and go, "What's going on?" And they'll find a defect straight away.
I remember one of them that got me in the Skyline because my brake light was facing up instead of out on the back window. I was like, but it's standard, like that's how it comes. He goes, yeah, but like for import rules or something, that's got to be changed. I was like, oh, okay.
So, dude, I bought the car like that. Like, okay, I'll get it changed. But I always found it depended on the cop. Because I remember one day I was running late for work, and it was when they were still building. Far out now. Now we're going back in time when they were doing the Western Ring Road, I think, and they were hooking up the section where the Ring Road came in.
Yep.
The Ring Road, or was it? No, I think it was CityLink, because there was a big brouhaha because the government went and you were going to have to pay a toll between Bell Street and Racecourse Road. And the argument from people back then was that's bullshit because that road already existed. Like CityLink wasn't doing anything. They were just maybe adding a lane to it, but that's about it. Probably CityLink regrets that they took it on because it's like the heaviest traffic there and they've had to keep expanding that as much as they could. And it's always had roadworks on it. It's probably cost them a fortune. Whereas if they'd left it to the government, it would have been the government's problem. But it was 80 through those roadworks. And I remember I was doing 100 because I was like, the fastest I can get to work, like, how do I get to work without losing my license? Because without my license, I can't get to work. And I was doing 20 Ks over. And I was doing 120. So I was 40 Ks over. So I was doing 120 in an 80 zone. And I saw the lights come up and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, how fast was I going? Because I'm thinking, did I slow down to 100 to make sure I didn't get... And I was pretty sure I wasn't doing 100. So anyway, it pulls me over. And I got out there. And in those days, one of the things you used to do just as a sign of respect was you would come out the car and you meet the cop halfway. And you'd say, evening officer, how you going? And I was really clear and, oh, how you going? Yeah, I'm all right. And he goes, got your license? Yeah. He goes, oh, what's going on? I said, oh, I'm running late for work. I was like the second time. I said, I got third time this week. I said, my alarm clocks didn't go off. So my boss is going to kick me in the ass if I'm late. I'm going to be late again. I said, now you've pulled me over. I said, look, I know you got to do what you got to do. Just whatever. I said, I'm late for work. I said, I know it's not an excuse, but it is what it is. Cop goes, yeah, okay. Get back in the car. And he goes, I'll be there in a sec. Did me for 20 Ks over. Just did me for the 20 that I was doing 100 in an 80 zone. And I looked at the ticket. And the first thing I did was I got the ticket and I looked at the ticket because I thought, shit, what's he done me for? And I look and it's like 20 Ks over the limit. And I said, thanks, officer. I said, have a good night. He goes, what's that? And I said, I have a good night. I go, thanks. I go, you could have done a lot worse. He goes, no worries, mate. He goes, have a good night. Got back in his car. I think being a night shift worker himself, I think you kind of got, he's woken up late, he's rushing to work. So I always found if you were kind of okay with them and you just nodded your head and just copped it on the chin, you were fine. It was just, like I had mates and cousins who were like always smart asses to them and then they go, I lost my license. What's the copper, and you talk to any copper and they say the first thing we take into account about whether we can go a bit easy or not is attitude. But they're human beings. They're doing their job. If you're doing the wrong thing, well, it's their job to stop you doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether you found that was the case with you or whether it was like, you got a hot up car, you're on your P plates, here's the fine.
Every now and then, yeah. I remember one time I've been drinking and I got drove and then they ended up pulling over me and some other guy, but I was just over and this other guy was 3 times the limit of them. They go, you get yourself home safely and Yeah, they ended up taking the other guy in.
Ooh,
I never drank drove again.
no. I remember years ago, a friend of mine, her husband was quite older than us and he had a drinking problem. He was coming home from the pub and he knew it was over. And literally, the coppers had parked the booze bus in front of his house. And he literally, instead of going right into the booze bus, he went left and parked in front of his house. And he was living with his mum and dad, and he just parked in their house. And the copper goes, "Oi, come here." He goes, "Where are you going?" He said, "In there." "Do you live there?" And he goes, "Yeah, here's my license. It's blown to this." Blows into it. Copper looks at him and goes, "You live there?" He goes, "Do you know him?" He goes, "Yeah, that's our son." His mum and dad had come out.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, that's our son." He goes, "Oh, okay. What's his name?" Told him his name. Date of birth. Gave him his date of birth. Pulled out the stick from the breathalyzer.
Yeah.
Hands it to him and goes, "Frame it. It's the only time that's ever going to happen. Go home." And the cop, and like, I think the copper, like, he wasn't being a smart ass to him, just went, "I'm home." And it's like, and I think the copper was like, "Jeez, he's gotten home. No harm." These days, I don't reckon they'd have that discretion. I reckon it'd be like,
Nah.
"Sorry, mate.
Well, I
Insurance
think
recorded it."
it's all digital now. Like same with the speed cameras and that. Like it's come up as it's like Wi-Fi. Like it's as soon as they get it, they get the reading. That's it. It's logged in.
Yeah. Like they've got a couple of kilometers discretion, but they haven't.
But yeah,
Like,
but
unless there's a legitimate reason, like, person was going to attend an emergency, extenuating circumstances, therefore we escorted them to the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it was something like, someone had a pregnant lady in there and they were like, and I think it also depends how fast. Interesting story I read the other week, though, was a copper was in the car with another copper and they were driving to a scene where a third cop had been shot. And they got it over the radio, and the guy absolutely set the wheels on fire, like 230 k's an hour. He was going reached speeds up to 230. He got reprimanded and then taken to court for dangerous driving. And he goes, "We get constantly criticised for being too slow to the scene. Now you want to punish me because I got there quickly. Are you kidding?" And it's like, isn't that crazy? And like, they asked his partner, they said, "Oh, were you scared in the car?" And he goes, "Why would I be scared?" He goes, "He's specially trained highway patrol officer with what they call a gold driving license. He's trained to drive at those speeds. Why would I be scared?" It's like saying I'm scared with Lewis Hamilton driving. It's just, you're not. You know that this guy's not doing anything beyond his capabilities.
Yeah.
And it's just insane, man. Like, I'm like, Jesus, how stupid's that you would try and punish a cop? I don't know whether there was more to the story. Who knows? But anyway, let's get banging with the show. Enough of our car stories. You talk about cars all night,
every week.
Anyway, first of all, I want to just cover off GPU and CPU prices, mate.
They're diving.
I've
noticed in the last few weeks, mate. Like you still see the odd one. Like you'll see a GDX 980 something, and the guy wants $350, and you're like, well, good luck with that one.
yeah, exactly. Like most times now, like a 1660 Super is going for about $350. I've noticed. 1080s have come back. I reckon the ones that are really going to now get hit really hard with pricing is these people who had 1080 Ti's.
Yeah.
That held on to them just that little bit too long, and now are trying
even like the 5700 XTs in that.
Yeah, they've come back right back now.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a 6700 XT for, I think we were looking at them before the show, $700-800. Why would I want a 5700 XT for any more than that? Oh, but mine's really well. What, you think that a 6700 XT doesn't? I would argue that it does. At that price, it would probably be a good bargain. So,
and it comes with a warranty.
And exactly right. You're buying one with plenty of warranty left on it, which reminds me, I've got to register my my new card for warranty.
New card.
Yes, I managed to convince my wife, the banker wife. I did flip one of a PC for $500 with a monitor. So, because work was generous enough to give me a little bit of cash, a sprinkle, to just be able to buy another 1080p, 1440p monitor, because having a 1080p and a 1440p next to each other, they're different sizes and make eyes sore. So I kind of went and did that. So I think it cost me like $100 extra. So actually, no, I think I pretty much spent most of the money on the monitor. So I was all right. I think so happy days. So it was happy days for that. And so, I bought a 6900 XT, Asus Tough Gaming, GPU. I'm impressed. So far, I'm impressed. It only takes, so my 3080 gigabyte Aorus Extreme has 3 8-pin power connectors.
Yep.
And let me tell you, that bitch throws out some heat. Like, I can sit here on a gaming night, if I'm having a couple of scotches, mate, I don't need a heater on. I need a fan on, and I need the window open, because I get pretty warm, pretty toasty in here. So I'm going to be interested to see over the next. Whereas I also found with the 2070, it also got very toasty in here, and my fans in the PC went at a great rate of knots.
Yeah.
Whereas what I found with the 6900 XT, it's nowhere near as hot. It runs like I was running some 3D Time Spy runs last night, and it was like 67, 68 degrees it got to. And I used an auto clocking over a feature on the AMD software called Adrenaline, which is just there for their CPUs, for their GPUs. And it was really painless process. I uninstalled NVIDIA drivers, and then the card was already installed and everything was running. I uninstalled. It ran fine. Like, I've heard people saying, "Oh, I've got black screens. I won't connect. I won't do this." Admittedly, I've run it on Windows 10, not 11.
Yep.
Touch wood. So far, so good. Like, I played a bit of Fortnite last night with it, and it was interesting in the lobby. Like, the pre-lobby, it would just slightly stutter. Like, just stutter just for a fraction, like enough you definitely notice it.
I always notice too when I'm like flying over tilted. I don't know if it's like a zebra crossing or something. You can flash a little.
Yeah, and then bang! It just during the game, no problem. Like, ran perfect. So I've probably got to fiddle around with some of the settings, because I think the frame rates are crash hot.
Yeah.
On it, because I think
in saying that, does that mean after the show you might be able to sneak in a couple of games of Fortnite?
I might be able to, because I did buy Gabe a battle pass.
Oh no!
At $11.15, I thought, all right, and he had $50 from his grandparents, so I bought him the Kylo Ren skin and some V-Bucks. So anyway,
I've been having a lot of fun the last few weeks playing it. So.
Yeah, it has been good fun. I'm not a fan of the custom games. Like, Taz and that are all into those. Like, last night I jumped on and they're playing some bullshit custom game, and I'm like, sorry fellas, just not me.
I'm out.
I'm going to go and play some solos, thanks.
I was trying to get them killed.
Yeah, no, it was just like, nah, it's just not me. And the little fella next door, he's into it too. And him and Gabe was like really excited they can finally play together because we said, yes, you can play Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I just went and gifted him a battle pass as well. I thought, look, let's be honest, it's like 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
Bring some joy to, you know. Who
And
cares?
like you've done it. We paid it for like 2 weeks, and we've already got enough V-Bucks to buy the battle pass again for the next one. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. And not only that, I have to admit there are some skins I want that, like, some of the Star Wars skins look pretty cool.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
and it's just good. Like every 3 months, or I don't know how long it takes. Maybe 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They bring out a new season with a new battle pass, and you work your way through it and get more skins.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, because Gabe kept saying, "Oh, Dad, I really want the Prowler skin. I really want the Prowler skin." And I'm like, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh crap, he can't get it without the battle pass. I'm like, shit, battle pass isn't that far off from being done.
Yep.
Like, okay, all right. So he wasn't home today, so he didn't. I didn't do anything. I just went and did it. I was just like, nah, shh, be quiet. You know, like I just.
Has he played it yet and noticed or not yet?
Yeah, no, I did. I said, all right, I have got you about. I said, I want you to open. I've got a surprise for you, you know, but mate, you got to listen or no more. So anyway, so he ate his dinner, then. Like, he wanted pizza. No matter how many times we get it. So he has usually cheese and garlic.
It must be the age, because Ava's 8 as well. And every time, what do you want for dinner? Pizza. I want pizza.
Yeah. But does Ava eat it?
Pizza? Can we get pizza?
Yeah, but does Ava eat it?
Yeah. Oh, she will. She leaves like a half a piece, like, because I don't like the crust. I'm like, there's still half of the bloody pizza. The pizza there.
So what he did was he pulled the topping off. He said, I don't like the topping, and just ate the bread.
Oh.
I'm like, oh. So I said, nah, you got to eat something else, mate. And he said, all right, I'll have a ham and cheese wrap. Great. Happy with that. Here you go. Have at it. And he ate that, and he was fine. So
do you microwave them and melt the cheese from that, or?
No, we've got a toasty machine. You just put it in the sandwich maker thing.
Yeah.
Like ours is like just a flat one, not a jaffle maker.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just put it in.
I think we've got a couple actually. We've got the jaffle maker. I think. What was that box's name? Something grill.
Oh, the Foreman grill. Yeah.
Yeah, we got one of them. Yeah. So I think one half is flat and the other half is got the little grooves.
Yeah. We've got the big. So we got those when they first came out, the big groove ones.
Yeah.
I'll tell a very funny story that my wife will hate me telling, but anyway, she's not here. She's not listening. She doesn't care, so she won't know. We're watching Australian Idol.
Yeah.
And there's a guy on there called John Foreman. And John Foreman's the musical director.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're watching there one day, and she goes, that's the guy who makes the grills. I'm like, what? And she goes, the grills. No, sweetheart, that's John Foreman. George Foreman makes the grills. Big black dude, used to knock the shit out of Muhammad Ali. That's the dude. Look nothing alike.
Yeah,
Let me show you a photo.
I know who John Foreman is too.
And I'm like, here you go. And she's like, shut up. And I just sat there literally with tears in my... And the other night, a thing pops up on my Facebook page, on my email, about tickets of the John Foreman Orchestra. And I go, hey, honey, come here. And she goes, what?
The grill?
And I'm like, look, it's the guy with the grills. And she's like, shut up. Walked off. She goes, you think you're funny. And I'm like, I know I'm funny. So anyway, yeah, I love my wife. Sometimes, she's smart in lots of different ways. Sometimes knowing who celebrities are. I reckon she could meet, I don't know, Van Damme or Schwartz. Oh, she'd know Schwarzenegger. But there'd be some celebrities that I would know and I would go, oh my God, you met such and such. Just like, who's that? And it's like, but yeah, anyway, that's okay. She's got other good things about her. But yeah, back to GPU and CPU prices as well. If you're looking to buy AMD at the moment, damn, like 5800Xs for like $500.
Yep.
They did launch 5800 XD, which I'll talk about next. So it's a good little sequel. But yeah, just quickly to finish off, BPC Tech. So if anyone's looking for stuff, they seem to be selling quite a few graphics cards under cost.
And they're a reputable seller. I think you bought quite a few things from
20 plus years there. Like I went on their website. They used to be called Budget PC Tech.
Yeah.
And then they rebadged themselves. Now I don't know whether that means they may have changed owners. I don't know. But I bought an NVMe drive off them, off eBay, I think it was on eBay. Yeah, they had a special on eBay, and yeah, what about on eBay? No, it was straight off their website actually. I don't know how. I think I discovered them on Oz Bargains. That's where I found them.
Yeah,
and yeah, really impressed. Like they're not the cheapest for everything, but none of the stores are. Like at the moment, like I think Scorptek's got like a 2 terabyte Crucial 5P NVMe drive for $269, and they're well over $300 everywhere else.
Yeah.
But Scorptek, like, and that's the thing, Scorptek on the odd time will have something really cheap. So Cinecom seem to be a little bit more often, like they seem to monitor the market a little bit closer. But BP Tech, yeah, because like I explained before the show, I originally went to buy for $13.99 a 6900 XT gigabyte gaming OC, and they'd gone out of stock. And then when I went to look at them and I'd had the discussion with Amelia, it said, ETA's 1st of May. And I'm like, okay, they must be expecting some more stock. It must have just landed and they're just, just waiting for it to literally just hit their store, but it's physically here. So I ordered the card and I paid for it because it allowed you to do it on the website. So I assumed they must have stock. And then I waited 2 days and then I rang them up and I said, hey, just wondering, you guys have, yes, we sent you an email. And I didn't realize the account's set up with my Gmail, not my Hotmail.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't actually go and look. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, there's some other options. He goes, look, mate, he goes, I'll be honest with you. He goes, hasn't even left the supplier. Error. So you guys don't have him in, like, they've hit, like, waiting for a container. I'm like, no. He goes, no, they actually physically haven't left the supplier. I'm like, okay, what are the options? And gave me the options between a 3080 for, I think, about $20 less, which I wasn't too interested in because really I've already got one.
Yeah.
Or a 6900 XT for $200 more. And I was like, and then I had to kind of justify it to myself a bit, but I'm really glad I did because it's like I said, it's a great card. It's about 2,000 or 3,000 points better in time spine than the 3080, but I'll have to really delve into it.
Is it the AMD equivalent of the 3090? Is that the 6900?
It was meant to. It was never quite. 6900 XT never quite was. It got close.
Yeah, so it's sort of like a in between 3080 and 3090, but like 3/4 of the way.
So it's in between a 3080 and a 3080 Ti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it beats the 3080, but doesn't quite beat the 3080 Ti. But that's because really the 3080 Ti is just a cut down 3090.
Yeah,
that's all it is. And I just and the 3080 Ti is would have been another $200-300 on top of that, and I was just like, no, I just don't. I can't. It's not that. The 6900 XT is not that far off. Like it's not $300 odd difference worth. So, and I wanted AMD. I really wanted to try AMD because I had a old. I think it might have been RX 260. I think that I had an old PC that Gabe was playing games with, or a 360, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, they're different. They're like a R9 270.
Yeah, R9 2 something. Yeah. And it was really not bad. I was really impressed. I thought, that's actually not a bad little card. Like, it runs okay. And I thought, And I nearly bought, when I got rid of my 2080 Ti, I nearly bought an 8 gig 580. And the only thing that stopped me and put me off was it was between that and a 5600 XT. The only thing that put me off was the guy at Centrecom goes, I'm telling you now, you're going to have driver issues. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It seems like AMD's really gotten on top of that. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to actually playing some different games, even maybe jumping on COD and having a bit of a crack at that and seeing how that runs and just letting it auto select and see what happens from there. But CPUs are really, like AMD CPUs at the moment, even the Intel stuff, like the 12900K has dropped in price massively from when it launched. Like, I went from 1,000 to, I think it's about $600 or something like that. Oh, sorry, $700 or $800, something like that. But the problem with them is the biggest issue they've got is the need for DDR5 memory. It's just drug money expensive. Like, you can buy 64 gig of DDR4 RAM for less than 32 gig of DDR5 RAM. And yeah, but the Intel motherboards and the CPUs aren't. The Z690 boards have actually come back down again, but it's that RAM. It's the RAM that kills you. And yeah, I mean, you can get a DDR4 based Z690 board, but it's like getting the Ferrari in auto. You know, well, not really. So some tech news. Moving on from that is there's a couple of GPUs coming out, the 6950X and the 6750 XTs are meant to be announced in the next couple of weeks, in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And then we'll obviously, and also there's some announcements about AMD's next CPUs, what are they on now? This 5950X, so they're on the 6000 series CPUs. So it'll be interesting to see what they do from there. But because Hardware Unboxed have done quite a bit of testing with the 5800X 3D, which is basically a 3D, is 3D, 3D in the sense of the L3 cache or the cache on the CPU is, yeah, it's in little chiplets and it's a lot more, and it was really interesting. Like, they showed some and they said, look, the 12900KS is what they had to pull out, which is the golden chips from the i9s.
Yep.
From Intel. $1,000 those are. Ridiculous. They did testing and it's like 0.2 of nothing difference. But it's the golden chip. Anyway, they tested against that, and that it was really toe-to-toe. It was like back and forth about some games the KS was faster, in some cases the AMD chip was faster, and in most cases it was like the difference was like you and I wouldn't even see the difference with the naked eye, like a couple of frames, under 10 frames difference. But they've done a lot of testing on it, and look, it needs to come back down in price. When you can get a 5800X, overclock it a bit, and get almost the same performance as what you probably do out of those others, it's not worth the money, extra money.
Yeah.
Certainly if someone like Gabe's got a 5800X, I wouldn't go and sell that and go, oh, I'm going to put a 5800XD in it. It's like, no, not really. We're for.
Yeah.
And especially considering you can get a 5900X at the moment for the same price. And a 5950X is, I think, only $100 more than that.
Ah.
And a 5950X
I thought they were like a few hundred more than the 5900, 5950s. But I haven't looked in it.
That is an whoa. What's going on? Hold on a second. Got to answer wifey a question. She's wanting the Herald Sun login, and yeah, she.
That's a fun bit of reading.
Yeah, I'm just now trying to
remember
what the damn password was.
It's a hard thing these days when your phone and your PC and everything remembers your password.
Yeah.
I smashed the screen on my phone the other day, and because I couldn't transfer everything over, like I have to try and remember all the passwords. I'm like, Just in case anyone that's interested, I'm just on the side there watching the Broncos and Rabbitohs game. Broncos are up 20-12. 15 minutes to go. No AFL on tonight.
That's not bad, my friend. Not bad.
Oh, the Broncos are in again.
Oh, they've scored again.
Yeah, good. I tipped the Broncos. It's like we have a family tipping comp. And so far, I'm not doing that great, but this will help peg me back a few spots.
not doing too flash.
Oh, I'm coming sixth. There's 16 in the family, and I'm coming sixth. But where is it? If I go back, choosing the Broncos, and because they're gonna, if they win, it'll shoot me up to third spot. I'm happy with that.
Sun? No. Oh, there we go.
If they don't win, it might shoot me down to 8 or 9. No, 8. Just go face the Broncos as well.
Ah, okay. Let me go and tell wifey I found it.
Yeah, I didn't play Fortnite last night, so I got a bit of an itch tonight.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. All right, so let's go in here. So if anyone's looking for, if anyone's looking actually to do a PC build, it's probably a small window where it's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling once the stock of those graphics card runs out, they'll come back up again, just because of chip shortages, cost of
still shortages. Yep.
Still massive shortages. I can tell you right now.
I thought there wasn't as much of a shortage. That's why I thought the prices were coming down, but no, it's more because of the mining and Ethereum and
It'll be interesting to see how I think miners are still holding on to their hardware, hoping the bull run will start again.
Yeah.
But I think it's a false economy.
Every time I looked at it, it's like a 4-year cycle. Like every 4 years, like I remember the first time I bought a PC for streaming was at the end of that last bull run of the 2017, whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, 2017 was the last like around then, which was like the dying coming down in the Bitcoin bull run. And that's what those PCs were used for, was used for mining. And I picked up one for like $150 or something, just like an old DDR3. And now they've got all the ASIC miners and stuff like that, like they can't mine Bitcoin for normal PC. But yeah, now 4 years later, it went through again, and then now it's dying down. So I'm guessing in 3 years' time it might pump up again. But that's,
Yeah,
it's all dependent on Ethereum because that's what everyone's mining. I think.
yeah, I
That's
think
the
you're
only one that's
spot
making
on.
the good money, but that's supposed to be going to proof of stake. So
Yeah, well, I thought it already had. Has it not yet?
like, it has and hasn't. Like there was the London upgrade, which it sort of moved towards. Like it does have a bit of staking in that, but then there's still miners. So there's still something. Yeah, there's I don't know, about 10 different Ethereum sort of blockchains. There's like the ERC20, the
Mm.
E721 and stuff like that, which are all sort of different but the same, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, it's an excellent segue. You know, it's a great way to start our next topic, which is crypto and NFT updates. You've been watching much. I know last time we spoke, we were both pretty much in agreement going, oh, look, we think the NFT thing, it's really interesting. I don't know whether you've listened to any of the tech guys out there, but really negative on it.
Like NFT or
NFTs. Crypto, not so much. Crypto, I think kind of everyone's kind of accepted, look, it's down at the moment, but we know this is a cycle. It's not going anywhere. There's too much money now invested in it. Crypto's not going to go anywhere. It's just gone quiet for a while, where people are doing some profit collecting. People are watching what's going on with, and I think people are looking at seeing what governments do. I think government policy is going to have a lot to do with it. So I think the heat out of crypto has come out quite a bit, but I think that's, like you said, I think it's a cycle thing, where, you know, is it going to go aggressive again in the next, 2 years again? Possibly. It might not take as long. The cycle might not be as long as last time. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, even last time, I think it only lasted about 6 months, or maybe about 12 months. But it really died off May last year, and then it slowly pegged its way back up again in about September. Then it dived down again, and then it sort of just
now
up and down ever since.
Yeah, and now it's sort of acting more like a normal stock market.
Yeah,
it's not doing as. And that's what I think as crypto matures, I think people who wanted to make massive money out of crypto, that horse is.
Yeah, unless you get in on something like, like a Solana, like the next bull run, like this bull run was the Ethereum and Solana. Like Ethereum took off and went from $20 to whatchamacallit. So if you can find something along those lines.
I don't think you can though.
Yeah.
I don't think there's big enough of a crypto market with secure enough facilities, because I think the challenge crypto faces is governments are not going to let you hide money.
Yeah.
End of story. Not going to happen. And I think people rush the crypto at one point thinking the government can't see your money.
But then, now they've knuckled down on that, and like you gotta like verify who you are for any exchange and to sell those coins to get your currency for
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think gas fees are just restrictive. Like, just to pull your money out so hard.
Yeah.
I think still very much with crypto.
That's what, like, Ethereum, like, rose so much, and then because the gas fees are the same for the 4 years, so that they went through the roof. Now they're trying to change it to bring the gas fees down, and that's when people have made the switch to Solana, and then Solana will get pumped, and then it'll get, like, the gas fees for them will get expensive, and they'll move to something else.
So you think Solana could be possibly the next one that pops off? Because I think there's room maybe for another one or two.
Yeah.
But until they can resolve the liquidity, as in you being able to access that money, that currency or those funds to pay for stuff quickly and cheaply. I think that's what'll hold crypto back for the next couple of years until they can figure out how they do that. And again, and how they can, because I think there's been a couple of rug pulls, a couple of the money's disappeared sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of scammers out there. That's around the NFT and crypto things. There's a lot of scammers out there that are trying to say, or not trying to say, but like there's a lot of things happening in crypto, and then it's bringing all the fish out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and that's interesting, especially with NFTs. That's been one of the biggest issues. Is I think wasn't the ape one.
Yeah. They bring out a metaverse thing the other day or something, and I think gas fees were up to like $15,000 just for one transaction. The transactions were failing, so like people were getting charged $15,000 to get something,
and didn't work.
Didn't work, and they still had to pay the fee. And then there was other companies, like other like scamming companies, that would come out and say, "Oh, we're from blah blah blah. We're here to get your refunds back for the failed transactions." And then they got done again. And I think like the scammers pulled $5 million just from that scam.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Like even with us, we've dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And we were just saying last week, it's...
Well, yeah, I think because we dabbled in it, and then it sort of went gangbusters, and then I think there was a few stories about how 10-year-old boys were making NFTs and making millions of dollars, and then it bring everyone out of woodwork again, and now there's 10 billion projects for NFTs out there.
Yeah. I guess it's not, and people forget. I don't think this is a new concept.
Yeah.
It's, stocks, penny stocks.
Yeah.
And
it's I think that they're trying to combine the gaming and the stuff together.
Yeah.
If it all can run smoothly, like in years to come, hopefully it'll work well. Like from what I can picture it doing, it looks like it's game changing and it's awesome. But then you look at how many people are getting scammed, how many people are getting hacked, and everything like that. So maybe it's not that secure.
I think like we talked about the other day. I think it's a couple of years away. Yep. I think at least 5, and I think if ever NFTs. I one sec.
Bless you. Just an update. The Broncos have just scored again. 25th minute. It's 30-12.
Oh wow, they're smashing them.
Yeah, I know. I'm paying $4.50 to win as well. I know someone was doing the tips.
Shit, that would have been good to get onto. Especially if it was like,
even 13 plus, that you would probably be paying like $12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, paying $1.
Yeah. Interesting how the odds change once the scores come up. But I think the danger you have with NFTs is that the next tech bubble, the .com bubble, when that happened, all these .com companies came out and made all these promises and they were going to revolutionize the world, and then suddenly people woke up one day and went, this is bloody bullshit, and suddenly it all disappeared. It crashed spectacularly, and people lost millions of dollars. And it's like, it almost feels like with NFTs at the moment, like you're buying, the magic beans, like Jack and the Beanstalk, So I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell.
It is hard,
because no one can definitively say yes, it is or no, it's not. I have a feeling, and I could be wrong. I am no financial or technical guru. I think Zuckerberg went early. But then again, A lot of people said that about Musk with the electric car. I give you Tesla, my friends.
Mm.
And now he owns Twitter.
And now he's the world's richest man. Oh, yeah.
And he owns Twitter.
Yep.
Ka-ching! How's that? Imagine, right? Or, just for a second, a social media pisses you off. So you go, I'm just going to fucking buy it.
Or not, yeah. Because they want to mute him. They want him to stop saying what he's saying. Is that, well, fuck you.
No, come on, you want to kick me off your platform. How about I become the owner of the company and let's see if you want to kick me off then.
Yeah.
And I just find it hilariously funny. Like there's all this debate about, one person shouldn't, control free speech and, Elon, this is not good that Elon does it. And I'm like, you're the same mofos who go, you mean like, Jeff Bezos owning the Washington Post or Rupert Murdoch owning, 90% of the bloody media in the world. Come on, people. Get real. And what Elon Musk has done is no more or less evil than any other gazillionaire who's done the same thing.
Yeah.
But I honestly hope that the thing that Elon does is you don't get rid of stupid debate by not having a debate. You get rid of a stupid debate by having a debate or not listening to the other person and going like just purely, isn't it, flat earthers. There's some people who are dead set, the earth's flat, it's all bullshit. I think 90% of flat earthers are just taking the absolute piss. Absolute piss. They had one guy on Isaac Butterfield's show and you could just you're taking the piss out of all of this. Like he's made YouTube videos about how Australia doesn't exist. We're all actors. And you listen to when he was talking to Isaac and you're like, he's taking the piss. And yet there's all these people who follow him that are like, yeah, he's spot on. And you're like going, oh, dude, you are like, it's crazy. But you don't win an argument. Like, you're not, with some of those people, you're just not going to win an argument. You just go, okay, dude, whatever. You think the earth's flat. Does that do any harm to the world? Besides, bring the IQ of the world as a collective down a couple of points? Probably not. It's a pretty harmless belief. So I hope one of the things Elon does do is go, right, we're not a newspaper. We're going to stop acting like we are. And people want to post shit. As long as you're not posting illegal shit or trying to incite violence or you're trying to, incite criminal activity, go at it. Knock yourself out. We're not going to moderate you. Let stupid and smart people mix. Because smart people don't debate on Twitter. They don't. Smart people don't debate on a keyboard. Smart people have a conversation with each other.
Ones that are debating on Twitter, just trying to up their clout, get more followers or be controversial.
And that's what I think people have lost sight of. Is the last presidential election was allowed to be influenced by a social media site which has a 120 character limit. What? You picked the president of your country based on snippets of what they write in 120 characters. You motherfuckers realise you've got fucking nuclear bombs, yeah? And you got like the biggest army. Like, you guys spend more money on your military, like combined. I saw it the other day. I saw the figures. They were publishing them. When you combine China, I think it was China, India, was it China? No, China, Russia, and I think one or two other countries. I think it was India was next. You combine those 3 or 4 other countries below America. Combined, America spends more than them in military. And I'm like, and you picked your president on what you read on a site. There's a limit of 120 characters. I don't think so. People aren't that stupid. People picked the president based on the fact that they thought we need to change based on what they keep hearing in 1 minute or 2 minute snippets on the internet. And there was a really interesting thing I read today about, sort of not only social media, but how we're slowly being conditioned to have a smaller and smaller attention span. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, those things, are pretty. Hold on. Sorry, wifey's. Hold on. Sorry, let me go and satisfy. Happy, what do they say? Happy wife, happy life, happy wife. So let's. Yeah. So anyway, but it's just, I think it's just interesting, and how we're trying to people are almost encouraged to try and not have too much of an opinion, or don't look what's happening over here. And it's, I've found it really interesting because I've been watching Russell Brand. I don't know, the comedian.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting what he has to say. None of it is about attacking people. All of it's about, we need to think about this. We need to come to a conclusion, everyone, because you know what? We need to be careful here about what we do next.
Yeah.
It's because if we allow people to of course it is. Of course it is. There it is. Okay, found it. Sorry, mate. I've just found my login for the thing.
But for everyone else, it's full time in the Rabbitohs Broncos game, and it's 32-12 to the Broncos, won by 20 points.
Wow. You reckon Russell Crowe's going to be happy? I reckon he might be a little bit pissed. You might have to go out and sing.
Well, especially when Adam Reynolds went from the Rabbitohs and plays for the Broncos now, so he's moved to a different team.
And he had a bit of a good game.
Bit of a win.
Oh God. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's really interesting what we see, happening in the world at the moment. From an NFT perspective, and I guess it all ties into political stuff where people want independent wealth and being able to get on with life and live better lives than what they have. And you know what? I would challenge people to say, are we any happier than the blokes, who live on an island with loincloths and hunt their own food and eat berries and just live as a society there? Bloke does wrong, you stab him in the leg.
Or
simple justice.
They steal, you chop off their fingers. And...
Yeah, chop off your hand. and go, right now, you can go and work one-armed over there in the field, mate, cutting the corn. You thought it was hard before. Wait till you do it one-handed, champ. But anyway, brother, I think that's the end of my topics. Let me just...
That's the end of mine too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
Game of the month. Oh, what are we playing this month? Fortnite. I have to admit, I've been also playing some House Flipper. I don't know whether you've seen.
What's that?
I think you'd actually enjoy that.
But that sound of the name is like buying and selling houses, and that's right up my alley.
Yes. So you do them up.
Yeah.
So you do jobs for other people, and then you buy your own properties, and then you do them up, and then you sell them for a profit.
Yeah. Wow.
I've done all the jobs. I've got all my money. I've bought a house. I'm going to be very interested to see how it goes. Yeah. Whether I'm a house flipper or I'm an house wrecker.
Now, what's the like the CPU and the GPU?
So no, it's very basic. Yeah, you'll be fine.
I thought.
Yeah, like mate, you won't. Don't hit you can run a potato. Oh yeah. You wouldn't stream it, mate. Would not stream it. It is.
Well, I thought maybe like me and you jumping in the Discord, having a chat about it while playing it or something like that. Or...
Oh mate. Oh god. Oh. You could, but it's not the most exciting game in the world. Let me tell you.
That's what I thought. But if we're sitting there having the yarn while doing it, might be.
I reckon it might be all right then, but only then. Otherwise, you wouldn't just sit there and go, "Hey, come watch me play this game," and then just quietly, paint walls and put radiators in it. No.
I think like playing Fortnite would be good, but I know my PC won't handle doing both. I should probably. There's enough PCs in the house. I could probably use one to stream with, so probably, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Or you could sell some and upgrade your chip. I reckon you could. Yeah, I guess it all comes down to priority, mate. It's convincing the wife that, hey, I really need to upgrade these things. I don't know about your wife, but I know with mine, if I can go, nah, look, genuinely, this just isn't cutting it. I need to get something better. Like with the GPU, I wasn't even trying that. I'm like, no, I just want one. And she's like, of course you do. But, there has been times when I was like, no, I genuinely need to update this because it's just not doing what I need it to do. And she's like, okay, like, I know for a fact I need more storage because the other day I tried to back up all of her photos and stuff off her iPhone and I was scrambling to find enough room. The Intel one didn't have it, and then I had to come over here to the AMD one. Thankfully, that I think's got just enough, but I really need to grab all the photos, put them in one central location, and just say to her, right, we really need to sort out what the double ups are. Get rid of them, have one central thing and say this is the most current backup, and then what I need to do is just basically grab the chip, then put them on, like find out how big it is, and then I think it'll fit on the 500 gigabyte NVMe, and just back it up on that, and then just go, right, I know what's in this is what it's for, it's a backup, bueno. So if God forbid something goes wrong, like house catches fire, I just grab that and say, I've got all our photos. I mean, I've got Backblaze, which online backup, but at least I can also maybe keep a physical copy too. But that's about it from me, mate.
About it for me too.
Cool.
Just having a quick look. Who's playing Fortnite at the moment? Went to browse one.
I've figured out, mate. I need to if I'm going to stream a game, I need to just because of this is why the wife's going to crack it over the $200 graphics card. So the other day she goes, "What's this $250 from this like Prime thing?" I'm like, oh, maybe that's the Amazon Prime membership. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of money. Doesn't sound right to me. And then I realised it was the renewal for the streamer Elements.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's 250 fucking Australian dollars. I'm like, oh Jesus. So, especially at a time where I think you and I are both contemplating whether we're going to continue streaming or not. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to do it for another year. But I did turn off the automatic renewal going, no, next year we'll just think about it, thanks. No, we won't feel automatically renewing.
Does that mean you should have a look at Zoom as well, or was that for work?
That might have already gone through as well. But yeah, I said to her, I'm like, oh, but I've also done the same with Zoom. I've turned off the auto renewal. I was like, no, do it next year. Come send me an email and I'll make a decision. But yeah, actually today Zoom seems to have worked okay. Last couple of times you and I have been on it, it's been pretty dicey. I'm starting to think it was the graphics. You know what?
Maybe it's the new graphics card.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm thinking, is it actually the new graphics card that's...
Maybe Zoom needs a high hash rate.
Maybe. All I know is it's working bueno. But anyway, mate, I am done and dusted. I think we need to say adios to nobody. Nobody's really watching. But anyone who does watch in the future.
I'm just going to raid this Tekt girl with my one viewer. But she's got 0, so it'll increase her viewership.
Oh, mate, let me... I don't think I can do it. I know I wasn't streaming on Twitch, so it's something. I don't know. It seems like this multi-stream on OBS doesn't work very well. Anyway, let's go and raid this lovely girl. She'll at least have 2 of us.
Okay. That's the problem.
All right. Peace out, everyone. Catch us next time.